All right, we're ready to roll here. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hello. All right. Why, hello. Welcome to the Rough Report. I am your host, Jimmy Ruffian. I should get more in the middle of the camera here.
No, just over
Way
here.
off to the side. Oh, hello.
Hello, everybody.
I just got a drink delivery there. Look at that. That's service. Yeah, that was Nat handing me a beverage there. She's sitting tonight out. She's not feeling up to it. Of course, like as some of the folks out there might have heard, she has been diagnosed with breast cancer. Not super fun, but we are very hopeful. Things are looking good. Luckily, breast cancer research and things of the like have come a long way, and it is very
The kind she was diagnosed with is the most common form, and if there's something you want to be like the most common of, it's cancer. Like you don't want that to be rare. So you know, like that's
you got the weird kind, like somebody wants to hear that, right?
So quirky cancer, like no one wants that.
Yes, no one wants to hear their doctor say that either, right? Like, oh, you got the quirky kind.
It's just a little bit different.
I think I need to switch doctors. She is still feeling presently in good health, but the diagnosis is there, so it's daunting. It's a lot. Nobody wants to deal with it, but here we are. We are feeling very positive though, so do not get all don't worry too much, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And aside from that, I think we got a bit of a fun show ahead of us, especially if there are people in the chat who are willing to play along a little bit. For instance, of course, Happy Canada Day. Canada Day was yesterday, or as I upset some people on threads saying, I don't recognize these colonial holidays. I just consider it the queer day of rest after a long Pride month. And some people got like weirdly indignant.
Canada Day is weird. Like I
are weird about it.
I'm like, we go to the festival, but we don't like celebrate Canada Day. That's not like it's like, oh, it's a festival. Like that's why I'm here.
And
people are like, why? It's like, sorry, this is the like Albertan separatists or like the right wing. Maple Mega, they're always like, Canada sucks, we need to take it back, we need to make it great again. Canada Day, I don't celebrate Canada Day. Why aren't you patriotic? Why don't you celebrate?
Well, it depends. It all comes down to why you think Canada sucks. That is the main crux of it. When a conservative says Canada sucks, it's for an entirely different set of reasons than why someone on the left might say Canada sucks. Because like when I start talking about colonialism, racism, and things like that, that's when they all go, grr, you should love Canada. But they're just like, I have to pay taxes and we have socialist healthcare. Grr, Canada sucks. That's their version of it.
Pretty much.
And like I don't know, like maybe it's just so embedded in the team sports mentality of red blue Canadian or conservative liberal in Canada mentality that the majority of the right wing can't help but to hate Carney, even though he's freaking doing everything they want.
Every single thing.
Carney says Trudeau-era climate plan was too expensive and divisive. Yeah, having a planet to live on and air to breathe, it's just a little divisive, guys.
Okay, call me crazy, okay? But I think some things are like absolute truths, and I don't care if they are divisive. They
Yeah.
should be done. Like, I don't.
Anti-racism is divisive.
Yeah, like, I don't care.
It is controversial, but it is correct, and we should do it.
Like what?
Yeah. We got to unite the country by alienating a huge portion of them that is against me and my friends making money. That's really what this is coming down to, right? So, like, he's rolled back the Trudeau era lofty, hopeful dream of like not poisoning the planet, and so you'd think the conservatives would be happy, but they're hung up on the little narratives that they're fed, right? Like the whole Brookfield thing. Oh, Brookfield, and it's like, you guys don't actually care about that, right? That's just like a slogan you have, because we all know when conservatives have had obviously vested interests in private capital and bending over backwards to appease them, conservatives just say that's just good economics.
Okay, hear me out. We do a party switch. Okay, all the progressives start running as conservatives, and we all just start saying the opposite of Carney.
It's not unprecedented, right? Like, I mean, the United States did this 70 some odd years ago in the wake of the Civil Rights Act being passed. That was the divisive point where a bunch of right-wing racist Democrats were like, giving rights to black people, I've had enough.
Step too far.
I'm going over to the Republicans. And that's when the big switch happened. I wonder
if we're about to see that in like I'm just looking at the states right now, and we're gonna have either the corporate Dems have to either suck it up, or there's gonna be some sort of party split. So
yep. I mean, long overdue. Like, at least in Canada, we've had that the NDP for ups and downs, better or worse. We've had that kind of consistent
the new liberals
option. Yeah. As opposed to neoliberal. We just got like the Liberal Party Part 2. But as we've discussed in previous weeks on the show, the new federal leader in Avi Lewis, looking good.
He uses the S word.
He's saying all the right words. That gives me hope, as opposed to all the right words where it's like, gay rights, that's something that liberals love to lean in on. But do they actually do anything that deconstructs the inherent bigotry of why we need to recognize gay rights? Not really. There's no structural recognition. It's more just like, the vague politeness. Yeah, be nice. Be nice.
Be nice.
Be kind to each other while we continue to, rob you and give your money to oil and corporate interests. Yeah. But be nice about it, okay? That's the most important part.
So I'm like seriously thinking about starting to doomsday prep. Like,
yeah.
Like, for realsies.
I mean, look, what is it? Europe having the greatest heat wave it's ever experienced in recorded history.
Their roads are melting.
Yeah, like they are so not used to this in such a big way that I saw like a map of it. I don't have the graphic pulled up here, but we're basically like past a certain northern point in Europe, the propensity for people to have air conditioners, whether it be in residential or commercial properties, there just are none because it doesn't get hot. Why
if you're
would you
not
need
in
an
a
air
hotel, there's no AC.
Yeah. So now what is it? Like, people in German hospitals having to wear ice packs, like these ice vests, in order to stay cool, because it was getting up to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in inside the hospital, which especially when you're talking indoor heat, is stifling. That is about what, 35 degrees Celsius roughly. So yeah, that's freaking brutal. Like when it gets up to like 25 degrees indoors, it feels pretty brutal. As so I can only imagine trying to work in a hospital while you're dealing with that. And so and as I like to point out, I think I've posted the depressing meme every year. See if I can pull it up again here. But
what a lovely
it gets,
you know,
yeah, it gets, yeah, exactly. This has become tradition for me to post this almost every year when summer hits and a new heat wave happens. What is it? The meme that was born out of the Simpsons movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the Simpsons one?
Yeah, yeah.
So far.
Exactly. God, Meta. Oh my God, I can't get over how shitty Meta is. Like just trying to navigate Facebook is so cumbersome. To get to like a basic task, you have to like click on a billion freaking things now. It's not like smooth. But yeah, there we go. This is the hottest summer of my life, the coldest summer of your life so far. Yeah. That's what we're looking at, folks. Just to remind you, as this freaking schmuck, again, I gotta kind of highlight how fucked up this is. They're like, sorry, too divisive, too expensive. Investing in the future, in your future that you pay us to manage in one sense or another. Yeah, it's too expensive. Sorry. Like he is telling the average workaday person, whether you're the average workaday person that even owns a small business, like, petite bourgeoisie, so to speak, whether you're a workaday person that's earning 6 figures or more, or whether you're neither of those things and way below that, like most of us are. He's just telling you to eat shit. Blatantly. Like blatantly. It's not even subtle. Like saying, addressing the obviously increasingly worse climate problem that we can observe and feel with our own freaking senses in our own immediate environment, saying, sorry, doing something about that is too expensive. It's crazy.
I've been seeing on Facebook, in some of the local groups where people just where all the local racists like to hang out, and anonymous Facebook accounts, and they always post a meme to get attention. And I've noticed a few of them have been posting some of these carny L's, and they'll be like, oh, liberals, are you happy what you voted for? As if they know that we're mad at Carney for this, and then they still blame us for him being elected. And it's again, your guy would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You're still,
but it's not their guy. It's that libs. Team sports shit.
They gotta
all
own
over
the
again.
libs. It's always owning the libs.
Yeah. Even again, if the libs are.
We take over. We start going in. We're gonna own those libs. Okay, we're gonna own them into socialism.
Yeah. God, seeing all the advancements and wins for the Democratic Socialists in the United States, I dare say, is giving me hope. Democratic Socialists ride wave of momentum in primaries from New York to Colorado. They are winning the primaries against establishment Democrats that are more or less essentially like Carney. These neoliberals caving to or gleefully playing along with right-wing interests. And it gives me hope that it seems like people have had enough. And finally, I think we've all been saying for years now, guys, when is enough enough? When is the jig up? How is the jig not up already? Again, for years watching increasingly hostile weather patterns, increasingly hostile everything in terms of right-wing fascism, Nazism, like scapegoating immigrants like we're in like 1930s Germany all over again. Like this is stuff we took for granted as generally understood. And evidently it's not. But now we're starting to see some hope. And what is it? I was just in the TikTok live before coming on here, and like having a couple like socialists in the chat there and in the comments, where what is it? The one person was a bit worried I might be, in their words, a Mamdani socialist, and I'm like, whoa.
You're gonna bring Shakira law to Canada, okay?
Well, like this is from a leftist perspective, so I think what this person meant was calling me a like, oh, you're not a Mamdani socialist, are you? As in, like, I would see somebody like a Democratic Socialist, a DSA member, as the peak of socialism. And it's like, no, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I will celebrate anything that will bring us further to the left. We got to take that as a win.
He's bringing material change. That's what I care about. He's freezing rent.
Exactly.
He's bringing, like he's doing the things. Like...
And the one thing that he's really exposing that I think is like rocked a lot of people's worlds is it's easy
that you can do it.
That you can just actually do it. And it's not like this lofty pie in the sky thing to actually provide things, real things to your constituents. It just casually strolling by the camera there. I like that. That's good. Yeah.
Bored.
Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Yeah. So yeah, like he's just doing his job the way it should be done in such like a basic capacity that they're like, oh my God, this is like possible. So in exposing that these years of Democrats saying, oh, can't be done. It's too lofty. It's too extreme. We got to play along. We got to compromise. It was all bullshit. And like a lot of people knew it was bullshit the whole time. But a lot of people who didn't know and hadn't caught on yet, well, it's laying bare.
Well, like I was going to say, like, I think the reason it took so long for this like to kind of like hit people in the face was propaganda was like so good at painting this picture, right?
Yeah.
And especially like when it came to Israel too, and like all these things. And now that like Mamdani's there doing it, the propaganda is not working. It's like the people don't buy it anymore. Like there's real life, like people can watch the truth on their screen, so they can't. Yeah, it's not working.
And the amount of people that are willing to, buy in that don't believe what your eyes and ears are saying, believe what we, the establishment, are telling you. They're over it. They're over it. Don't look up. Exactly.
Like that was such like a lib movie, like whatever, but like it put the whole like thing right in everyone's face, and they were still like, they're just making fun of us. They don't understand. It's like, no, guys, media literacy is dead.
Yeah. and you know what, I was thinking about this earlier because something had I saw in Threads, somebody was posting about the movie 300, and that was like kind of a big media literacy moment for me, seeing that movie in my 20s, because at first glance, like seeing it in theaters or whatever, flashy, slick, exciting action movie, got a lot of it hits a lot of pleasurable marks that you want to see in a movie like that. But the obviousness of the underlying kind of propaganda, especially in the time and place that it came out. And I was thinking about that, and I was just like, I remember like first couple times I watched this movie, I really, really liked it. but I also had that, sort of, there's like this ickiness underneath where I was like, I feel like this movie's trying to tell us things that aren't good. Like as exciting and slick as it is, there's some elements to this that don't feel right, like the inhuman but very effeminate appearance of what is it, Xerxes, the villain, imagery
There's
like that.
some good right-wing movies out there. People don't like to hear it, but it's true. Okay.
The thing about good right-wing movies like 300 is that they aren't really trying to be right-wing, like, in the sense of like, what is it, like Daily Wire movies, they're trying to stick it to woke Hollywood. That's what they're thinking about. But when somebody makes a movie like 300, I think they're almost ignoring or gleefully oblivious to the political tones, and they're just throwing stuff that they think works at the screen.
I think
right?
It's common sense right wing.
Yeah,
this is just how it is.
Exactly. I'm just like sourcing from like reality here.
Yeah, like this is real versus like being like men can't be women and all the you're just pushing fact away. Actually, like
that what is it, the Lady Ballers
oh
movie,
my god,
where their original intent of it was they wanted to make a documentary where they were gonna get like some of their guys in their Daily Wire network to just pose as trans women and get to play sports, but they very quickly realized that just saying you're a woman and trying to sign up to a all-women league, it actually isn't that easy. And,
no.
Actually transitioning and living your life that way takes a serious commitment beyond just wanting to play sports against other women, or women in general thinking I'm a man and I'm just going to stomp them on the court. Right. And like it wasn't that easy. So they quickly shifted into
a comedy movie,
and that is like a complete, like, not only like, a lot of comedies are obvious distortions of reality, but such a deliberately pointed one, you know what I mean, like where it's just like the premise is so like ugly on its face and they're putting effort into that ugliness that meanwhile,
I mean, they also did like What Is a Woman, which is supposed to be a legit documentary where they cut down the one like professor that they talked to. They cut his interview down to be like, they play it like, oh, it's so boring, and it's like, this is a documentary in quotations.
Learning stuff and information is so like boring. I'm just not feeling it. It's not playing to my emotional pleasure zones that would make me like, laugh and clap at the misery of others. They
did the cartoon too, that got like 3 episodes or something. Candace Owens was in it too.
What is it, Mr. Beecham? That was the Adam Carolla one. Yeah. Oh God, that freaking guy! If you watch this show for a while, I love ripping on Adam Carolla. Yeah.
We gotta like I want to find a way to rip all the Daily Wire stuff and just like start reviewing it from a political
There's actually even like outside of Daily Wire, there's a few what I would say are right-wing comedies that have come out recently. And I'm sure a lot of people are gonna not necessarily agree with me that this is a right-wing comedy. I've heard a little bit about this. I'm not like, what's going on with that?
I haven't seen it, so I will put that besides clips. But a lot of what I'm hearing is it's a lot of like either riffing on the old scary movies, so they're not making fun of like scary movies. They're making fun of like the Scary Movie franchise.
Oh, it's becoming meta like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Right.
I think there's like a trans joke in there,
Oh,
and like
geez.
classic early 2000s humor. You know, like
Okay.
so it plays into like the old scary movies,
Yeah.
which had some jokes that maybe wouldn't play so well today.
And it's like a lot. Sometimes it isn't even like what plays well today isn't even necessarily like so much political as just like it's been done.
Oh,
People have
some
seen
trans
this.
jokes are funny.
Yeah.
But they're not punching down at trans people. Like that's where the joke comes in.
Yeah.
You know?
Like what is it? I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago because Nat and I had just watched it. The Life of Brian, and how there's a couple of not so well aged anti-trans jabs in there, but also by the end of the movie, the people like that were making fun of their trans friend for wanting to like change their pronouns and name were just addressing them by their pronouns and chosen name. So it's like, even though there was some jabs in there, by the end of the movie, the other characters had come around. So
there's
like
a lot of like bad trans jokes turn to the person accepting them in like the 80s, like that they're in like 70s. Like there is so much media out there where sitcoms were having it, where like an old family friend comes and visits and they're a different gender and they're like, that's weird, I can't hang out with you, and then by the end they're like friends and hugging and addressing them.
I remember like reading about like a Love Boat episode that was exactly that. Like old army buddy of the ship captain showed up, and they had transitioned. And so like the fact that people like act like all this woke stuff is new is really funny to me. Just admit that the woke stuff, you know, it's been around a while and you've always hated it and you've always had an agenda against it. Like that whole talk of like, you know, you hear it over and over again, liberal Hollywood, right? And like that's a trope that's been around for decades. I think because of sort of a soft recognition that this woke stuff, this progressive stuff, this pro-queer, pro-gay stuff has always kind of been in Hollywood, despite many people's efforts for it not to be. So they just like, you get a bunch of people going, oh, that liberal Hollywood, that liberal media that's always plotting against us. Really what they're talking about is just people saying accept gay people. That's really what a lot of that for them comes down to, I think.
Well, like, remember how I always say it's projection?
Yeah.
The whole liberal Hollywood thing is projection, because like obviously like sure, they would show some gay stuff and blah 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 blah, but in Hollywood they are still inherently right wing. Like a lot of actors and stuff had to like hide, they couldn't out themselves. They had to, you know, hide their, you know, sexuality until later on when it was more acceptable. Or they couldn't have gay relationships on TV until well in the 90s. Except for like, you know, like they tried not to, like they couldn't be regular characters. Like as more recent as the Gilmore Girls, like studios were like, no, they can't, they'll queer coded. That's where that came from.
So this is the movie I was referencing earlier. Now if you look at all the people that are in this and what this poster looks like, I would say this is vaguely, not so vaguely coded right-wing movie. This has got to be, right?
Right. Yeah, no, definitely.
David Spade, Theo Vaughn, these two podcasters that have been kind of swimming in the right-wing muck
that guy in the very
for some
front
time now. This guy? I do recognize him, but I'm not sure I know him by name.
Stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. And then like then there's guys like Bobby Lee here, who basically seems to have no morals, ethics, or politics whatsoever, just whatever gets the laugh, which, you know, to his credit, I guess, is the very classically stand-up booming age of comedy in the 90s. You know, people just saying whatever, you know, getting up on stage and just being edgy. You know, he's kind of old school like that. I feel like he doesn't have any political agenda really at all, just because he's so ignorant of all of it.
I don't know. I heard that like he does that like bit where he like slept with an underage girl in a different country or something like that. And
oh God.
Yeah. So that would kind of turn me off.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him say, like, in the clips of his Bad Friends podcast or whatever. I've seen some things that are like, okay, I know I'm watching this a bit out of context, but that's uncool. That
but then
sucks.
He's like one of the best Stardew Valley players in the world, so it's he's a mixed bag.
I guess when you're not spending a lot of time refining your comedy.
Yeah, imagine your sense of humor not changing for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even, what is it, before the fall of Louis C.K., I used to use him as an example of this, where if you watch his material from before he got really big, and like he would get the odd television appearance. I think he did like Conan O'Brien's like old show, like the original iteration of Late Night with Conan O'Brien, like in its first few seasons. When it was like really a struggling show, Louis C.K. would get stand-up spots on that where he'd go up and do like 5 minutes. And I've seen some of those clips, and they weren't good. They were like, it was not good stand-up. But they were giving this guy a shot, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can respect that to a certain degree. And then, of course, as time went on, he refined his comedy. I think got a little more in tune with the cultural zeitgeist and knew how to speak to that, and became a good stand-up comedian. And he had a great run of material for a while. And then, of course, his scandal happened, so to speak, and had a fall from grace. And instead of doing what I think a lot of people would have saw as the obvious, because I think a lot of fans, myself included, when that came out, was like, okay, this is fucked up, but you're Louis C.K. You've talked about growing and being better from being fucked up. Like, this has been kind of a vein in some of your TV shows and your comedy, and being good to people, and like there was this sort of like almost ethical, moral vein in a lot of his material. And you think, okay, like he's aware of this stuff. He's going to take some time to be better, right? Like, and then he just sort of disappeared for 6 months, and then just started doing shows again. But then a lot of his material was more, I got canceled. And it's like, oh, you didn't learn a damn thing. And it seems like all your more wise comedy as time went on was just a clever act.
Some people are just good actors.
Whoa, like, you're distorting. Sorry, bearer of bad news there. Every now and then, Jessica's mic likes to turn her into a robot. So yeah, there was that Theo Von movie. Oh, she'll be back. There was that Theo Von movie. And then what was the other one that just came out? That guy, that comedian who was at UFC. So everybody was like, hey, what are you doing there? And he was like trying to, like, he was saying the whole time, like, oh, I'm just not political. I'm not political. But like, yeah, he had come out with this comedy movie. Oh, what is, I think I remember the name. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, okay. Here, I'm gonna get this pulled up. Welcome back. Hello. Oh God, that's a tiny little thumbnail. That's not what I wanted. Open image in new tab there. Why is that still so tiny? God damn it, Google. It should be easy to pull up an image. It's like what half the importance of your website is. Yeah, this one. I don't know if you heard of this one. Nate Bargatze. Yeah, this guy, he was going on about like, in a lot of his like content and interviews and things like that he's not political. He's non-political. He's apolitical. And of course, we've discussed when people say they're not political, what that really means is they're right wing and they don't want to talk about it. And that seemed to be the case, because like he was at that the 250 America 250 or whatever
Oh yeah.
celebration at the White House, schmoozing it up with some of the right wing and UFC figures and stuff like that. And right before that, he had come out with this movie where it was just like everybody panned it because it's like terrible backwards, like just not even so much political comedy, but although there is that aspect to it, but it's so tired humor. Let the dad era begin. The whole concept of the movie is that mom has to be away from the house a bit,
Mr.
so dad,
Mom?
yeah, it's a Mr. Mom scenario where this totally inept schmuck of a man that's terrible at being a dad and husband, apparently has to be barely competent for a while his wife is gone.
I love how the joke is they're like men are the leaders, men are stuff, and then they'll create art like this
where it's like, no, I'm a man child and I need to be taken care of. Like they want to have both at the same time, really. Yeah. They want to be like the tough manly man protector breadwinner, but also be waited on and things like that. Well, because they all want to be like that kind of propaganda that I think is all set into a lot of males at an early age, women alike, I guess. That like the kings, the great man, like I'm the strong protector and therefore I deserve to be waited on, just like all the people, all the rich and famous and powerful people I look up to, all the leaders of society. This is how they behave. I mean, like, look at Elon Musk. You think he has to do his own dishes? Do you think he has to change diapers? No, he's just a winner. And that's what I am in my house, I think that's what a lot of that comes down to.
It's so embarrassing to me. This is the like Kardashian effect for me, where it's like so many people want to not do basic chores. That is like so many people just don't want to put time to that. But
a lot of people don't want to work an honest job where they actually have to perform any labor.
Well, this is why AI is on the rise. And if you don't do these things, you know what happens? You lose the ability to do things. So this is one of, I can't remember which Kardashian, they all look the same to me, but one of the Kardashians cutting a cucumber. This is her trying to cut a cucumber, and she's like, and she can barely cut it. She doesn't know, she's using like a butter knife. God. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. And it's like, that's the thing. You're one day not going to be able to cut a cucumber. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how much money I have. I'm washing my own fucking dishes because, I might have the best dishwasher. But I'm feeling that shit because I don't want to not know how to do a dishwasher. That's embarrassing to me.
Like if something breaks on it, do you know how to fix it? Or like within a reasonable capacity? Of course, there always gets to a point where just call a freaking plumber, okay?
Yeah.
But, like people should know how to do basic maintenance tasks around the things that they own. And the brilliant thing about like the internet in a lot of ways is it's a great resource to learn how to do that. But now they're kind of steadily taking that away. Like search engines are just getting worse all the time, and being in all the AI crap being injected into everything that is actually essentially taking options and freedom away and feeding you one thing from a source that you don't get to choose. And it's waters down people's ability to learn and expand their capabilities and just have a machine do it for you. Like I have no problem with machines doing things as long as people know how the machines work. How to work on them. Having
so much
skill.
I feel like a fucking idiot. Like I didn't live in a house growing up. I lived in like a trailer and then a couple like townhouses, moving around a lot. So when I finally got a house, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like you have to like turn like this one water valve off before winter or else it'll like freeze and flood your house. And I'm what if I forget one year? Like shit stresses me out.
My first year living in this house, I had to be told about the air filter in the furnace because I've never had a furnace before. I've lived in apartments.
I don't know how to do yard work.
But the thing is, I was able to like Google this stuff. My dryer broke down. I did some Googling. I figured out how to fix it.
But rich people, they just pay a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they learn nothing. And then
Because
they tell you
well,
that
because
they're
they're so
smarter than
skilled.
you.
They're so skilled and special at what they do that if they take the time away from their day to do something like fix their own problem, they can't be providing the wonderful magical things they provide. And all that is just like zhuzhed up mysticism around what they do, because it's all bullshit. They aren't doing anything.
They don't even call a guy. They get their assistant to call a guy.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, looking up a person to call and then just being overwhelmed with like, I don't know. Here, you do.
That's the thing. Like, they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, control the world like they're smarter.
Yeah, because like really the thing, like it's the almost like propaganda below the propaganda, because there's all this like honest working man kind of propaganda that I think that is only meant for us to buy. But saying like, and then you get into the way upper classes and the 1%ers and the billionaires, and they start going, well, I have $1 billion because I am so good and skilled at being a businessman. You lowly peasants will just never understand it. But really, their actual working day isn't what you and I would call work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a little boys club of rich people hanging out together and blowing smoke up each other's ass. And it's fluffy nonsense.
This is why I don't mind body shaming billionaires. Like, I'm like, some people don't body shame, blah blah blah. Billionaires body shame. They have all that money and they still look like that. Like,
yeah.
That's okay. Like, that's a choice. They're making a choice there.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Who's the here? I'm gonna see if I can find this.
And Tepno, he's the I gotta call a guy. But there's been a few times he YouTubed and fixed the problem.
You know what? Our washer is broken right now, and because we have a landlord that I pay money to, I'd rather him fix things. And after some Googling, and I did some troubleshooting stuff, I'm like, I'm stuck. I think this thing is actually like freaking broken. Our wash machine, it was the lid was locked with a load stuck inside it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, I just went to put it in the dryer, and I'm like, the hell, the lid is locked. So eventually I figured out how to get it unlocked. But then when I opened it up, there was still water, like
it just wasn't draining.
Yeah, it wasn't draining, and none of the controls were responding at all. Like you hit any button, try and go through any process that like the manual suggested or whatever, just nothing. And so I'm like, all right, now I got to text the landlord so he can pay a guy to come over here and fix this, because once it gets to a certain level, it's just like, no way, I'm already paying a guy that's ripping me off.
Yeah, exactly.
Every month.
Yeah, like all this stuff about doing your own stuff, that's for your knowledge. But if you are renting, get a landlord to do it.
Yeah, I was thinking of this guy.
Sorry, I see the little icon.
This guy who doesn't even seem to actually put a lot of, like, he's not like working out all the time, right? Like he's not like a fitness person. He's trying to hack his body with science.
Yeah, he's using biohacking.
Yeah. And like all it's done is just make him look the same age, but like a little greasier. Seems to be like this is an unusual photo in that his skin looks dry, because in a lot of like the pictures of him, he just looks like he's like oiled up and slick. And like that's what like makes him look younger, I guess. So it's like,
with taking blood transfusions from his teenage son. That is
and like trying to get results or presenting results for something that you didn't actually do, didn't actually have to work hard for. The capitalist propaganda in there is that's the ultimate goal. That's the way to live. That's the dream. That's why people want to be rich, is not because they're providing something that's so wonderful to the world, and it was so extraordinary that they deserve to have more money than everybody else. No, it's like you beat the system and now you get to be better than everybody because you don't have a real job like the rest of those suckers do, and you didn't actually have to do anything. That is the dream, and that's why a bunch of fucking losers love this AI shit, because they get to feel like they did something talented with putting none of the effort into it, but like, the years
actually you have to be a good prompter.
Oh yeah, like, prompting is a skill. And how quickly that narrative turned into people like AI artists, quote unquote, getting mad at each other for stealing each other's prompts.
I follow this one girl, and she's been going on Etsy, and Etsy's been like, some of the vendors there have been selling like AI whatever, like they had an AI make a something and they're selling those pictures or something.
Yeah.
And so she did those AI drawings but made them herself and then put that ad up because you can't copy AI art. So she then copyrighted it and then has been copyright claiming their vendor things on Etsy. So
that's
AI.
That's a great troll. I love it. That's praxis, I would say. That's good shit. That's good shit. I like that. Yeah, the guy spends $2 million a year to get attention. Yeah, I mean, but that's what a lot of it is. Like, if they're getting attention, if they're famous and they have a lot of money and stuff like that, they're just winning the game. They're kings of the world. They get to feel like rock stars without actually having to, be good at something. And
that's why they're all deeply unhappy and they do all this shit because they need to feel loved because no one actually loves them.
Yeah, like they get such little accomplishment out of the things they actually do with their lives that they feel empty, and they have all this reward and all this benefit, but they're still fucking miserable because they've denied themselves the real pleasure of being human and the frailty and the vulnerability that comes with that. Like, it's scary to, in a way, to put years of effort into doing an art and a craft and not having all your dreams come true, but at the same time, it's like, that's life. That's being human. And that is, that's just something you got to deal with. And we're all in this together. And the more you try and remove and isolate and put yourself above that, it's like the more miserable you become.
And like, we all die, dudes. Like,
yeah. You can't take it with you.
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I don't know. It's like psychological torture to try and present this as like, the way to be, like we put these guys on the cover of Forbes magazine and celebrate them, like the Kardashians, putting them all over TV and all over the media, Musk putting them all over TV and all over the media. And then you go, well, what do they actually do? What do they actually provide? And it's all empty. It's attention. Like as Stepno was saying.
Yeah, like, I mean, for the Kardashians, I would have enjoyed them if they had have actually said what they did for a living. Like, if they came out as a family of sex workers and were just like, like, that would be great. That would make great.
Yeah. Like, I would venture a guess that most like Kardashian fans don't care what they do. They care that they're famous and look pretty and have a fabulous lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that is the point of envy and attention for all of these people. And it's like it's just so empty. I don't understand it. Like, I understand to a sense watching reality television, like everybody likes their little pieces of trash. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. You're not a bad person for maybe enjoying Love Island. It's not for me. It's not my preferred method of trash consumption, but we all need things that are a little, I think, inconsequential in
I'm
a
more
way.
of a Love is Blind fan myself.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, to a certain extent, it's kind of trashy, and you don't get too involved in it. Like, it doesn't become like your main thing where it's like, no, I got to see everything about this. I got to discuss this with other people. I got to be in fan groups about it, like for stuff like, comic book fans and video game fans and stuff, there is a bit more of a substantive thing to sink your teeth into there and discuss with your friends and be part of a community, so to speak. But when it comes to like the really trashy stuff, if that kind of becomes your whole thing, I think there might be something to critique there. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Jersey Shore convention.
Yeah, like if you're watching all the Jersey Shore, like if Jersey Shore is like your one piece of trash, okay. But if you're like, I got to see all the Jersey Shore, I got to see all the Mormon Wives, I got to see all the Real Housewives, 90 Day Fiance, Teen Mom, all that stuff. I have to like consume all of it because I love this drama so much. It's like, yeah, I think you got to watch something else. Actually,
I get
think you
bored
got to
of
expand
them.
your horizons.
If they don't bring something new each season, then I'm moving on.
Yeah. Like, I love, like, I was just, like mentioning 300 earlier. Like, I love my slick comic book action that is escapist and, takes you out of reality for a little bit. Like everybody's got those things, but also it's not all I consume. my life doesn't.
Well, that's exactly. I feel like that's where it is. If it starts becoming like your identity and the only thing, it's that whole like jack of all trades, master of one, kind of thing. You don't like, the whole thing is you don't want to be like just a master of one. You want to know about more than one thing. If just one thing is you're fucked. You're barely a person. Sorry.
Okay, so I gotta pull this up.
Yes.
Because I don't know, this is arguably the funniest thing that has happened this week. I'll get the clip up in a second, but the headline here: Trump sees Bond with great He-Man. That's the quote. Great He-Man. He's using these are the best pronouns. He loves pronouns now.
Look at how he's standing.
He looks like an animatronic there.
Like trustful. Like
Bond with great He-Man Theodore Roosevelt at lavish library opening. And it was like, wait, what?
Sees is present tense, by the way. Like,
so what happened with that? Where did that quote come from? Well, he said this at a press conference not too long ago.
Oh, we're not.
I had a conversation with Theodore Roosevelt. I said, "What did you think about the Panama
just the other
Canal?
day?
Do you consider that your greatest achievement? How do you feel about the fact that the Democrats gave the Panama Canal away to Panama for $1?
And again, as we mentioned, the great switch between the parties earlier. He's essentially talking about the Republicans here that were just simply named Democrats at the time. Their politics were right wing. This is pre a Civil Rights Act.
Built the Panama Canal, preceded really by a man who was he was the tariff king, William McKinley. He was the president, and they took his name off Mount McKinley, and I put it back on because it was put it back on. But McKinley actually, he was assassinated, but he made tremendous amounts of money, made our country very rich, and then Teddy
like how? Okay, he's had a conversation with a guy who's been dead for ages. And also he made us a lot of money, and a bunch of like poor people in the crowd going, yeah.
No, but
what are we doing?
Knowing the U.S. education system, I feel like there's people in that crowd that also don't know that Teddy's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe thought, like, and maybe a bunch of them were like, "Oh, Teddy's still alive. Good for him."
Yeah, like I feel like that. That's probably what was going on. They're like, "Oh wow, but he's still talking."
There's a lot more ex-presidents walking around than I remember. That's amazing. But okay, I don't know why I haven't been able to pull up the original clip, like the very source. Like, wait, you had a conversation with Theodore Roosevelt. How did that happen?
Well, and like I was saying, like while you're looking for that, like what I was saying before we started was like when he's talking to the hologram or whatever, and he's talking like they're having a conversation.
Yeah, here it is.
He was playing a bit.
Yeah. I was like, oh, like he doesn't actually think he's having a conversation with Theodore Roosevelt, right? Like he's just playing along with the AI because the technology is so marvelous, and he's a bit of a theatrical guy. He likes to put on a show. He's done WWE, like he knows what Kifabe is about, right?
It's an honor to be with you today. We are making a little bit of a tour of some of the fantastic things you've done. Do you consider the Panama Canal your greatest
There it is.
achievement?
This is the conversation.
Well. Right then, yes.
Well.
So good.
Right then, yes. Oh, good answer. Good answer. He seems to be under the actual impression that he had a conversation with Theodore Roosevelt.
Again, I still thought, I was just like, oh, he's just so good. He's Trump. He knows how to work a room. But then when he goes on after and like
tells the audience
that I had a conversation, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like no mention of like, oh, this Theodore Roosevelt hologram. Oh, amazing technology. I felt like I was really talking to him. Like something like that. I would totally understand.
I had a great conversation.
But he's bragging about having to get to talk to, like the man's brain is mush. It's mush. Like,
okay,
what are we
can
doing?
We get like
what are we doing?
Marks in there or something? Like, can he have a conversation?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, he
just start getting him like bringing in famous scientists and stuff. Just bring in people from history just to get him in a hologram.
Like, oh, I was talking with Alexander the Great the other day. And he's I don't want to sound woke, but he is he is an openly gay man, and I gotta say they don't call him Alexander the Great for nothing. I think it's okay if he
the gays, they're all great.
They're all great. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like AI psychosis is a thing. Like whether it be like you think you're talking to God through AI, or even pre-AI, you just strongly believe you're talking to God.
Yeah,
that is like at least like a religious psychosis. I can somewhat understand and get behind in a way, like not get behind as in I support religious psychosis.
No, but you can understand where it comes from.
I can see where it comes from and be very understanding of that. But like AI psychosis and like really believing you have like a connection with this being that is all ones and zeros. I don't know, man. That's really.
I feel like it comes from like the same place, like
it's like whatever part of your brain
is
it's it's got to be kind of the same, right?
And
it's
that
like
feeling
the
of
Oreo's cocaine part of your brain.
It's that feeling of like God's talking to me, or like this AI loves me, the computer loves me, not you, me, like a little narcissism in there. But it just makes them psycho. Like it just, I don't know. It's just, it drives me mad, but I understand that it's like a serious mental health problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even this, John Lennon talking to a fan, and it's just words, man. We're just making pop songs, mate. What is it? I think it was a quote from Paul McCartney from some years back, where because of some of the topics that they had written about in their songs and stuff like that, where he's like, oh, I get the distinct impression that people think the Beatles aren't materialistic. And and when I would go over to John's house and we'd get writing a song, and he'd say, all right, let's write ourselves a swimming pool. Yeah, like, what do you mean we weren't materialistic? We liked having things. What are you talking about? But that kind of led to the sort of psychosis that the guy who ultimately shot John Lennon, because he got all warped about how he was a phony. How could you say imagine no possessions, but you're driving around in a Rolls Royce?
He's a phony.
He got disillusioned, and that drove him towards a sort of psychosis, right? Yeah.
It's crazy, but it is literally the definition of crazy. Like that is what it is. You know?
And people want to think they're like somehow so far beyond it that no, like that couldn't be me, and that's kind of how it gets you.
Yeah, that's the first trick of psychosis.
Is that no, that I'm not crazy. I've figured it out. I've cracked the code. And it's like, I think that kind of ties into the whole Mark Twain thing, where it's like, it is more likely for the person you're talking to and telling them that they've been duped by something. It is far more likely that they're going to get angry at you for telling them that than the person who's actually done the conning and the duping. As someone who, like, with my own mental health struggles, something I have dealt with on and off, and it's kind of tied into my generalized anxiety disorder, but I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And one of the most prevailing symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder, and one of the things that we tend to obsess about that causes us inner distress and things, is that you are very worried that you are losing it. That you're like somehow losing touch with reality, or are going to lose touch with reality, and thinking about that and cycling it over in your head, and it becoming an intrusive obsessive thought. And the more you do it, the more you start to feel a little convinced by it, and it gets it can get scary, and you have to know how to deal with it and talk yourself down. But this is like, I think like mental health issues like that is kind of a normal human thing that we all deal with in one sense or another. And convincing yourself that you don't have those problems is what's going to lead to further distress down the line. It's kind of like the same thing as denying what you are in any capacity, whether that be like if you're gay or trans. The more you try and bury that and hide it within yourself or deny it, like, no, I can't be one of those. And I'm willing to bet most people who have spent any extended period of time in the closet has literally said those words to themselves.
No, 100%.
Can't be me. Can't be me. I'm not that. Maybe it's fine that other people are that, but I'm not that. Couldn't be me.
Surprise!
And it's like, no, it can be, and it very well might be. And that's not me trying to convince you that you are, because it's okay to be curious. It's okay to dip your toes in the water and experiment a little bit, and maybe come back out the other side and, hey, it ain't for me. That happens. That doesn't delegitimize or destabilize your own heterosexuality or whatever. Playing around with cross-dressing perhaps, rather than switching genders entirely. Playing around with this stuff is okay. But if you're just like kind of have those feelings inside, and your immediate reaction is no, fuck that.
They're like, I saw an attractive man and got a little tingle. Now I'm mad. Like,
yeah, exactly. Or maybe maybe you are straight, but just in that moment you felt a little bit of a tingle, and it scared you so much that you now have this visceral anti-reaction like that. I think that's where the whole theory behind they're trying to turn me gay comes from, that level of psychosis where they think something in society or whether
or
it be,
gay is a choice.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay. It's in the water, like those ideas come from the fact that these guys are having curious or gay thoughts and they don't know how to process it. So it's like, oh, they're doing it to me. This isn't coming from inside. This isn't natural to me. It's something that's being done to me,
Yeah. Anytime someone says that it's a choice, I'm always like, oh, when like you're choosing to be straight then, so you're probably gay.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, hate to be the breaker, like bad news, but
yeah. And it's like, that's okay. Or maybe even like you come out as gay and a while later you decide, oh, maybe I don't want to have relations with men. Maybe that isn't for me after all. Like, you can do that. It's a free world. But
the labels come off, guys.
Yeah. Like, you can switch them. You can switch. It's fine. And like, I feel like, we still as a society have such weird hangups about that. But like, the more we don't have hangups about it, the more people will feel free to just play around and not feel so much shame and self-judgment, and like
and like when they say like, oh, the gays are on the rise, it's like it'll plateau once you get, it's a whole left-handed thing. It's like once people could be left-handed, it skyrocketed and then stayed at like a plateaued, guys.
I remember like a discussion I had with a friend many years ago, and I still think about it because I think I upset them at the time, but they were very much on kind of like the hippie health pseudo right-wing pipeline. Like, they were kind of dipping their toes in this idea that like cancer and the prevalence of cancer is because of what's in the food. It's like, cancer wasn't such a thing 100 years ago and stuff like that. And it's just like, no, it was. We've just gotten better at finding it, diagnosing it, understanding it. Like, before lung cancer was recognized as a cancer, it was referred to as a disease called Zephyrs, and people didn't really know what it was or where it came from. They just knew bad shit was happening to your lungs, and that was their understanding of it. Right?
This is that conspiracy thing. It's like,
you're distorting again.
Fuck.
Rock. I hope it's just the cable. All right, she'll be back in a minute. We're going to be wrapping up in probably the next 10 minutes or so anyways.
Check.
I was trying to take a hit off my vape while you're gone, and I don't know why I decided that would be a good time to do that.
That's fine. I'll probably need a new cable tap. I think it's finally dying over here.
Is it your XLR? Is that what it is?
I think it's the cable into my the sound thingy. Not like the cable that my back cable that plugs into my computer for my sound, my M audio interface.
Oh, okay. I just realized that there's still more of this clip left, but we were about to talk about a conspiracy theory thing.
Oh, well, I was saying like they're always so close because yes, there's stuff in our food that is increasing things of cancer, but most of that's like the sugar levels.
Or
or the salt level,
or just getting a better understanding of where that stuff comes from, because like, red meat they've discovered is, what is it, like I can't remember what level of carcinogenic it is, but red meat is some level of a carcinogenic, meaning that it can increase your chances of getting cancer, right?
But also 100 years ago, our food would have arsenic in it. So like, I don't want to go back to food 100 years ago. You know, I prefer our food now.
Yeah. And so it's like cancer isn't this new invention that is being done to the public as some weird experiment. Like if you really want to get
cancers are on the rise. Colon cancer under the age of 45 is on the rise. You know, like some things are on the rise, but like their causes are usually things like data centers and stuff near your house.
Yeah, like poisoning the water and the air as we take away environmental regulations.
Yeah,
like,
so
come
that
on.
You know, the sun is kind of like the biggest
stuff that is actually conspiratorial and is being done to us. That stuff is actually right in front of your fucking eyes. Like they're not even hiding it, guys. They're not hiding
theory. It's not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Like what is it? I remember watching like one of those John Kiriakou clips, and you know, him being an ex-CIA guy and stuff like that, and he was talking about how, you know, he's encountered people with like the sort of psychosis that they believe the government or the CIA is after them, and he's like he'd get emails about it and stuff. And so at some like meeting of the mind, some other business venture he was on or what have you, he was talking to like a few psychologists who were like part of this panel he was on or something, and he asked them, it's like, hey, like what's the deal with people thinking that like the CIA is after them when they're not, you know, like they think like, you know, their phones are tapped, there's cameras hidden in their house, things like that, or they're sending signals into my brain, you know, like stuff like that. He's like, well, you know, what's the deal with that? And apparently the psychologists laughed and were like, no, that is like the most common type of psychosis we deal with. It is way more common than you might think. And really what it comes down to is that these people are unhappy or distressed for one reason or another. It could be for like some other, you know, chemical imbalance, mental health issue or whatever, but it gets to the point where they need to rationalize what is happening to them. So an easy conclusion to draw on is that, oh, this powerful, well-funded organization is doing something to me. And in the discovery for him that like this wasn't just, you know, homeless people on the street, or like something like that were dealing with these sort of problems, like smart people. Like he said, he got hired for a private gig by like the wife of this ambassador, like a diplomat, and she was convinced that somebody was bugging and spying on her. And he goes over to her house and there's tinfoil. The walls are lined with tinfoil. and he's like, what's all this? And she's like, oh, it's to block the signals. And he's like, oh shit. Okay. What did I, you know, get myself into? Right. And but it was a surprise to him that this wasn't the stereotype of the person you would think, like realizing how like actually common this sort of stuff is. And it makes me realize that when you're talking to the weirdos on the internet, or get the weirdos in the TikTok live, what was that one guy who said estrogenic appearance or something like that? And it's just like man, they're like, in various degrees, there's a lot of not all right people out there. And that is to say, it's not all right if you're not all right, but you know,
get help, but
get help.
Yeah,
you know,
you can get help, you know, if you don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
So.
Like I've been to therapy. I've talked to doctors and gotten help, and you know, thank goodness, you know, because it's relieved a lot of stress, or I've had supportive people in my corner who know how to deal with me or what have you, you know. And like all that stuff is so important, like having community and having actual medical support. And here we are, you know, doing all these things, increasing cancer because we're ruining the environment. You know, like it's being done to us right in front of our eyes. Get like cutting mental health efforts, or stigmatizing this stuff, and convincing ourselves that, you know, like as the powers that be actually are doing stuff to us, we start to like rationalize it in unrational ways. Yeah,
and Carney was the lesser evil.
Yeah. Well, like he is such like, just to cap off the show, I guess, going back to Carney, he is such the prime example of the good cop in the good cop, bad cop scenario, because like truly they're both cops at the end of the day. And the cops in this metaphor here is the capitalist, the support of the corporate elite, the people that want to do the very neoliberal conservative thing where they're going to take our tax dollars to subsidize privatization and private projects under the guise of economic growth. And that doesn't help anybody like you or I. And so just completely ripping us off. But, that's the way things got to be done. That's the law. And I just got to enforce the law here as the good cop. And the thing is, I want to be nice about it. I want to go about it the right way with you, but you got to play along.
They have the same goal, guys.
Yeah. Like they want the same thing out of you. They want you to give them the information they want, as the metaphor goes. And so they want to extract the capital from you. They want you to continue to go to work so they can extract the capital from you. But you know what? You got to do it the right way. We got to do it the polite way, because if you don't let me do it my way, I got to get the bad cop, and you don't want the bad cop, do you? He's crazy. He's going to do mean things to you. And yeah, here you are with Trump and his fascist regime doing the bad things to you, because if you didn't let the corporate Democrats do it their soft machine gun hand way, here you are, you get to suffer more. And the Carney is such an example of the good cop in such like the obvious way, because he's not even pretending to do the nice things. He's not even setting some lofty goal like Trudeau might, where it's like, oh, by 2060 we're gonna do so much good or whatever, something way down the line. No, not even that. Not even playing the good cop. He's just straight up saying, nah, fuck it.
I thought he would have extended it, like been like, we're not going to meet the goals here, extend it by 10 years, Nope. He's just straight up like, it's just not happening. Sorry, guys, but not sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was fun. We'll be back. We haven't discussed this yet, but I was thinking we're going to take a week off maybe next week.
That's fair.
But we'll be back the following week, and we'll see what all card. What regulations is he going to cut next? What conservative thing is Carney going to do next? What next business developer is he going to do a big bailout subsidy scheme for? We'll find out, because I'm sure there's going to be one. There's been one every week. But until then, stay rough.